Hello everyone, my name is Hectic and welcome back to another tier list video. Today we're doing something interesting and making a tier list off of every single Left 4 Dead 2 weapons for the tier lists. Yes, Left 4 Dead, I haven't covered Left 4 Dead a lot on this channel. I've done a few videos every now and then. I've done a few funny moments every now and then. I do want to cover the game eventually, so let's get started on this. It's gonna be S to D tier. I think I like that. I'm looking at this. I believe this is updated because I saw a pitchfork, shovel. Those are the updated weapons. I believe this just looks like that there should be like freaking like a whole lot more. It probably is. I've been trying to find templates on Tier Maker for this, but I just couldn't find it for whatever reason. So there are going to be multiple of these videos if I find ones that are updated or whatnot. So let's get started on this. And this is going to be a little bit differently. I am going to try to put in some objective opinion on behind it, or sorry, objective fact behind this, my reasoning for ranking these, but there is going to be a little bit more of my opinion in this because it's not like an FPS game where if you don't use the right weapons or that, then you're screwed. Mostly all of these weapons can have the exact same impact as every one of them. Some just might be more effective than another, unlike Valorant or CSGO, where most of the pistols are not going to be as good as rifles in every single scenario. Yes, some might be, right? Like if you, like for example, like when we ranked the Marshall in Valorant in S tier, that's against every single one of those. That objectively, if you use that weapon correctly, you're going to get the maximum amount of value that you can every time. Where in Left 4 Dead, just the way that you're playing some of these, a melee can have the same impact as a gun. It has its inherent disadvantages, but it can have the same impact as a gun, but just in a different way. You kind of see what I mean? As opposed to, if you don't use this weapon right, it's not going to have impact at all, or like its potential. You know what I mean? That was kind of hard. So let's get into this. The pump shotgun. Generally, I hate using the shotgun. I actually played Left 4 Dead. I am one of those that subscribes to a shit ton of things on the Steam Workshop for this, and I have everything heavily modded. So pump shotgun, yeah. So pump shotgun, I rarely ever use this. I'm not sure about the damage output on a lot of these. I just know if it goes pew 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 or pew, and how effective is pew 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 or pew. You know, that was a weird way of saying that, but that's basically how I judge somebody. And the pump shotgun, like, let me tell you this: if you're in a damn zombie apocalypse, you're not gonna. Don't pick up a freaking pump shotgun. Use an auto shotgun. For the love of God, you don't want to go bam every single time. Yes, you're surrounded by a horde. This is not going to be the greatest weapon. I believe it makes up for it in its accuracy. The shotgun accuracy in general in Left 4 Dead is insane. And its range is also insane as well. Pump shotgun is going to be a solid D tier for me. Actually, you know what? We are going to create... We're going to create an F tier. We are going to create... No, I want it... Oh, this is why. Add a row below. D. God damn it. Excuse me, but I just butchered that. That's going to be our D tier. This one's going to go back to be C tier and that color. There we go. So pump shotgun is actually going to go into F tier. I recommend not ever picking this up unless if you absolutely have to. In some scenario, even the dual pistols, the starting pistols or a melee is going to be better than the pump shotgun. Yes, the combat shotgun. Yes, like the spas and whatnot. I think these are going to not be like the pump, and they're going to be more full auto shotguns. See, I thought both of these were grouped together. Combat shotgun, like a spas or whatnot, is going to be a solid A tier pick if you like running shotguns. Good rate ammo, rate of fire, accuracy is really good. The tactical shotgun is going to go in S tier because I just think that this auto shotgun is going to be better than your spas and whatnot. I believe your spas has better damage output though. That's why speedrunners use it a lot, whatnot. Okay, now we're getting into the SMGs, and I think this one is the updated ones. I forget if it's like just a modded one on. Silence SMGs. I actually hate the SMGs just normally. That's why I have them modded. The silent SMG is one. It's not quite that silent to begin with. So basically your silence freaking Mac 10 or it's actually Mac 11 in real life. There's no Mac 10 in real life. Is probably going to be the best out of all of these. For an SMG, let's talk about this. I think I'm going to place this B tier right now. For an SMG, it is going to be in the S tier. As far as weapon overall, there's a batch of other weapons that I'd rather use. I'm not going to disrespect it that much. I'm going to put it into A tier. I generally hate using the SMGs unless if I have them modded. Some of the mods, it might be placebo, but I feel like they actually make them better. Like, I think I have my silence. I forget if it's my Uzi or my silence SMG. One of them I have as the MP7 from Counter-Strike, and holy crap, that thing's incredible. Yeah, that's a better SMG than one of these. So talking about the Uzi's going to be a solid C or D tier. I think I'm going to give it some respect and put it into C tier. It's better to run a pistol and whatnot. Uzi, I just think is a downgraded silenced SMG. I don't like it. I think all of the SMGs have the same damage output, whatnot. But yeah, I'm putting the Uzi down there. I just hate using that one. MP5, I also don't really like, but it's MP5. It's not horrible, I guess. I rarely have picked up the MP5, or it's been in a mod that I have so many mods on most of my guns, I forget what gun I'm actually using that it's replacing. So, and my SMG, which is going to happen with the SMGs. I think I have like my silence SMG is now a P90. I believe my Uzi is an MP7 from Counter-Strike, and my MP5 is I forget what it is. But yeah, but they're none of those. So next up is going to be the hunting rifle. Hunting rifle is straight up garbage, unless if you're in one of those where you're not in a horde crescendo part of it, or like the AI director would spawn a horde in the middle of that. If you're in the middle of the horde, your hunting rifle is useless. Yes, just use a melee weapon, even if you're up top on somewhere. Slow rate of fire. I'm glad that it has a scope and whatnot. Is this? Am I thinking like the scout thing, or is it actually the hunting rifle? I think one of these is a single fire. I think it's the scout, but hunting rifle isn't much better. I'm trying to think here, because hunting rifle actually might be good. Shit. Did I come unprepared on that? I'm going to put it in D tier in that case. Still, though, if you're scoped in and you're just picking off zombies and whatnot, if you want to pick off even like something like a smoker or whatnot, it's going to be fine that you can use. But still, definitely not the best choice. Any of these snipers are not going to be the greatest choice when hordes come in, or you have those close quarters map. But like hard rain and whatnot campaigns, those I could see people using these effectively. Military sniper is going to go into S tier. It's has high rate of fire. You can scope in. Decent magazine for what it is, and doesn't really run out of ammo that badly. It's pretty good for if you like sniping. And I would recommend picking it up if you're one of that people or your gun's almost out of ammo. Yes, the Scout, I think, is the one that's going to go into F tier. And this came with the Last Stand one. It's basically, is it actually the Scout from like CS, or is that just a modded version? I have no idea. But this one, I think I got confused with the hunting rifle. This one's the single shot bolt action. Like, why are you using a bolt action at all? This one's just absolute garbage. Please remove. Yes. Scout, horrible. Don't ever pick it up. Pick up the hunting rifle instead. Yes. You're not going to want a single shot bolt action rifle in Left 4 Dead. Your AWP, unfortunately, falls into the same category, but it's going to be just more damage. Yes, I believe this is the LF. I forget what it is, but yeah, basically the CS:GO one of these. Yeah, your AWP is going to be a single shot one, but with some heavy damage output. It's still a sniper that's not really going to provide you better. Just pick up a military sniper, guys. Yeah, M60. Let's talk about the M60 a little bit. It's a LMG, I believe. Is it LMG or is it HMG? Heavy or what? The fact that it has limited ammo makes it very situational, and I wish it had just slightly more ammo. I think it has like 160. If it had like, let's make it not even unfair, 220. That's not unfair. That's about a normal it's like a quarter of what a rifle would have. I can understand what it is, but I think that it's good against a lot of people, and you can put in a lot of damage have a lot of damage output with it, especially against a tank and whatnot. So I think the M60 has an old place, but one, it's very, very rare. This is one of the rarest ones in the game, and it's one magazine. You blow through your magazine. I would pick it up only if you have like tanks and whatnot and just need to spam a bunch of ammo, or you're just so overwhelmed by a horde that you need something with it. Its fire rate isn't insane. It's pretty good for what it is, but would rather stick with my rifle that I could reload. So for that, it's also going to be into a D tier, but a respectable part. Let's get through the guns first, and then we'll talk about melee weapons. Yes. So next gun is going to be grenade launcher. I'm going to put it in A, not S tier. Its damage output is incredible, even against special affected. Maybe except for a tank. Its rate of fire, dude. It's a grenade launcher. Unless if it's an MGL, then it, even with an MGL against a tank, not really great, but if you have a lot of zombies grouped up or on a horde or need to snipe something for long range, grenade launcher is good. And it's so fun to use. Yes, so satisfying. I pick it up every time because I just love using it, exploding stuff. But in a practicality sense, it's very situational, but it's still also good for what it does. Respectable. Actually, I'm going to put it into a respectable B tier. In there, let's talk. AK-47 is S tier. Because I think I've seen some rankings of these. I haven't looked through a lot, but majority of what I've seen, people rank the AK-47 much lower, even B tier and lower of AK-47, and it's at least it's an S tier in my mind. From even practicality, from what I can gather objectively about the gun, and personally, I like the feel. I'd even say if you put it lower than A tier, what are you doing? Is the thing. AK-47 is actually really good. Good recoil, great Actually, well, you do have to compensate a little bit for the recoil, but it's not bad. Great rate of fire, decent ammo capacity. It doesn't have that great ammo capacity, but it does have, and just all around very reliable. I love picking up this weapon in game, and it's really, really good. I'd rather pick this up than the M16, or in this case, I modded it to an M4. I'm going to call it, it's going to be the next gun we cover, but I'm going to call it the M4. And I'll talk about that there in a second. But AK-47, really, really good. Yes, pick this up every single time that you can. I don't see why you wouldn't want to. M16, alright, we're just, this is not permanent. I'm just going to place this just for right now while I talk about it. The M16, the default as an M16, I don't like it too much at all. I don't think, is it burst fire? I don't think so. Is it? I have no idea. Or if it's full auto, but I have it modded to where it's an M4A1S. Basically, in front Counter-Strike. Actually, I think I have it to M4A4 from Counter-Strike. But either way, unless if you mod it from that, I don't think that it's, I think it's outshined by the AK-47. I don't see a lot of reason to pick up the actual M16, except for maybe better accuracy, better recoil. But it's basically an M16 that has the properties of an M4, but it's just, I don't know. Just if you mod it, it's going to be so much better. I haven't played with the default version that much, but I just remember not liking it. I'd rather use an AK-47, but it's still going to be A tier. And they're just mod it. Go onto the workshop, just find an M4A1 mod for it. Yeah. So, and just don't run that one. The Scar, burst, let's talk about this, because burst fire in FPS games is hit or miss. Yes, they're either going to be effective or they're not. If you're in Valorant, burst fire is actually pretty good in that game. If you're in Counter-Strike, burst fire isn't so good as far as the ones that are built into the gun. Tap firing is up to different. Burst firing in this game can have its advantages, but you're still only shooting 3 at once. The Scar is not a pew 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 pew, it's pew 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 pew, like that type of thing. And just that is actually an inherent disadvantage with how Left 4 Dead is working. If you're in a non-horde situation or picking off certain special infected, it can be fine. But once hordes come and once you start swarming, you're just relying on its damage output and hopefully that you can reload quickly. For that reason, it's going to be in C tier. Yes, just make it full auto or whatnot. I believe out of the rifle, I think it actually has the most damage output though, which is saving it. SG552. Oh, this is basically like almost like the Honey Badger thing. I think I mistake this for the MP5 thing. What was on this? I really like this. I think this is actually an S tier weapon. I've played with this with the default version. I like it a lot. And I believe you could scope in too. With it, it's really good. I don't see any reason to not use it. Occasionally, although I would rather use an AK-47. I believe it's a rifle with the properties of an SMG, I think. Meaning it has about the same amount of ammo and slightly the fire rate. But just with like scope and stuff, which is has an inherent disadvantage in that way. But it's still pretty darn good that I'd rather use it over an SMG of any kind. Pretty good. I love the addition to it. I call it the Honey Badger because it looks like a freaking Honey Badger. And you can mod it to be a Honey Badger too. Alright, now we're getting into the pistols, the dual pistols. Now the single pistol we're not counting. The dual pistols is going to be a solid B. It's good for starting out. Has some pretty good accuracy, especially if you crouch. Do all that. The reload is okay. It might get you a little bit, but until you can trade up for something better, dual pistols will be your savior. And in some cases, it's better than a melee, but also in some cases, it's not. Again, I do have this modded. Actually, I have it modded right now to where it's two 5.7s from Counter-Strike, and it's just, dude, powerful. Dual pistols, I think that it's actually the best of the pistols, even more so than the Magnum. I don't like the Magnum, we'll get to it, but again, it's pistols. You're going to want to pick up even an SMG or a rifle, more so than that. The Magnum is going to be a solid D tier. I do not like this weapon, and I don't think that it really... The argument against using the Magnum is that it has a high damage output. Yes, it has unlimited ammo, but it has 8, and you can burn through that very, very quickly unless you're extremely accurate. Yes, and time it well. Most of the time, it's going to be a disadvantage. I'd rather use a dual pistols from it. Yes, Magnum is going to be situational. Again, it's basically going to be like the sniper of the pistols. Yes, you're going to use it to pick off enemy or try to deal massive damage in a quick amount of time. Yeah, but in that case, I would just say just spam dual pistols. I hate picking up a Magnum. Yeah. I rarely use it. I usually use it just because, well, it's guns, it's there. If I'm tired of my melee, why not? Oh, I forgot about the Chrome Shotgun. The Chrome Shotgun falls into the same category as the Pump Shotgun. Don't use that. It's because it's also a Pump Shotgun. Yes, don't use that. It has quick, faster pumping than the Pump Shotgun. But alright, now we're talking into melees. With this tier list, we are literally comparing a melee weapon to a gun. Yes, and that's what we have to keep in mind. So we're going to base it off of effectiveness as a melee weapon and also effectiveness compared to a gun, which in some cases a melee weapon can be better than a gun, and can have the same impact as a gun, whatnot. The baseball bat, solid A. Yes, this is a good one if you find it. I prefer not using it as a personal thing, but objectively, there's really nothing wrong with it. It's a good swing, good, I would hate to say rate of fire, but its swing rate is what I'm going to call it, is really good, and you can clunk some zombies pretty quickly if this is going to be your melee of choice. There's no reason to avoid it that much. Chainsaw is only going to get a B tier due to the fact that it runs out. Yeah, if you use this, use it for those horde scenarios like in Dark Carnival when you're going through the coaster, or anything that's given you, or that one where I think is it on Death Toll, like I don't know if it's the finale or the one before the finale, but that one where you had to go through those alleys and there's just zombies after zombies. They just keep coming through those narrow hallways. Yeah, that could be good for the chainsaw. You can get some massive damage output, and even against like a tank or something, you can deal massive damage with the chainsaw, but it's, again, situational, and it runs out of fuel. Because of that, it can't be these two. But that's why it's not anywhere down there. Cricket bat, I just think is a discount baseball bat. D tier. Crowbar, pretty good for what it is, very common. It's a C tier. It's a slower swing, but its swing rate pretty low, but actually the cricket bat has slower swing rate than the crowbar, I believe, but I don't know about the damage. But fire axe is a solid A tier. I love using the fire axe. I believe with its wide arc, you can take out more zombies than most of the melees at a time. And it's just really, really good to use in a clutch. I'm going to basically be saying the same thing about the melees. Whatnot. Golf club is just like a discount fire axe. It's just rare to it, but B tier, I guess. Guitar, for its swing radius and its swing rate, it is incredible. It surprises me. And it's just funny to swing a guitar. It's actually one of the better melees that you can use. It's not quite as sharp as a fire axe, but it makes it look like it. And it's actually better than a baseball bat, but I believe baseball bat has faster swing rate. But yeah, if you're surrounded by hordes and stuff, use these melee weapons. Yeah, or you can run around and make sure that you get precise hits with these. That's where it's going to be better than some of the guns. Is in close quarters. If you're having a batch of zombies at once, you want to swing a guitar or fire axe or even use a chainsaw more than your gun and preserve the ammo. Still had that one. Katana is going to go up in S tier. It's just better. The knife, that default die on that, absolute garbage. Holy cow, why was this added? It's damage. Yeah, I think it takes 2 swings to kill one zombie, I think. Might be 1, but its swing rate is so low, it's a small... You're basically going to be killing one zombie at once. It's absolute garbage. Machete is going to fall into the same category as the katana. Except for I don't think that it can kill quite as many as a katana can. Nightstick is going to be a B tier. Frying pan, C tier. Pitchfork. Pitchfork also, unfortunately, isn't as... It falls in the same disadvantage with the knife. It's slow, and you're not getting a whole lot out of it. Yes, it's a forward stabbing motion that it receives, and it's a slow motion. It's fast. I think it's faster than the knife, actually. It's pretty darn fast for what it is, but it's still just, it's awkward to use. Not like a feel. This isn't real life. I know you can't really feel exactly feel the weapon, but in a way I feel like you can feel things through a video game within that. Shovel is also an F tier. I just don't like using the shovel. It's just a discount baseball bat. Yeah, the melees were harder to rank than some of the guns. Yeah. Now I will rate these. I am going to try to rank them from best to worst, in my opinion. Out of what's up here, I am going to say, and knowing that we're throwing in melees, yep, it's going to be the thing. So AK-47 is going to go up top on first. Then, I would say tactical shotgun is next. Then I would put the katana. I'd put the military sniper, then the machete. Machete might be just as good as the katana, but I mean, military sniper, like, come on, that was the gun. The SSG, and then the baseball bat. But that's still respectable to put a melee weapon that far up. It's for something as simple as a baseball bat. Yeah, so A tier now is going to be, I mean, M16 is still, most of the rifles are going to be pretty good. I actually don't like the combat shotgun quite as much as that. And then the axe, I actually think in some situations the axe, no, the shotgun's going to be better in that case. And then the silenced SMG. The SMGs are always going to be B tier on this. Out of everything, actually, the chainsaw's good to have that. Actually, it's going to be the dual pistols, then the chainsaw. Just with the impact, I'm going to put golf club, grenade launcher, the nightstick. C tier. Despite it having a burst fire option, it's still better than the SMGs. So the SCAR is going to go up first. I would put the Uzi, then the MP5, and then than these two melee. Actually, I'm going to take the frying pan out of that and put that. I'm actually going to put that back into an F tier. I don't think that it's really that good. In D tier here, I'm going to put the hunting rifle, then the cricket bat, the M60. The Magnum surprisingly is going to be more useful than this AWP. And then F tier, if we want to gauge what is going to be the best out of that, Chrome Shotgun, Pump Shotgun, Frying Pan, Pitchfork. The Scout is, yes, that is right. The Scout is worse than all of the melees. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. So, y'all, this is going to be my Left 4 Dead tier list part 1. I'm going to check and make sure that these really are all of the weapons. We're not including throwables in here. That's going to be something different. But I believe this is all of the weapons and it has it correct. Maybe I'll do a modded tier list on some of these and just out of the ones that I have, because some of the mods actually do affect these a lot differently. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Did I play something drastically wrong? Or do you agree with most of the picks that I made? Yes? Let me know in the comments down below. My name's Hectic. See you guys in the next one.